you gotta wrap up our show with the main event of the evening. We don't talk about it, we don't speak about it, we don't think about it, but secretly we are about it. It's called Soap Fight.
Soap Fight, yes.
Soap Fight.
I'm sorry, it's called Fight Club.
Basically, Soap Fight.
Fuck, this is a hard one, right?
It is. No, it is.
I think we're gonna piss off an entire generation of movie watchers.
It's possible.
I said this last week because I already knew about the movie. Like, I knew a lot about this movie already.
I didn't know anything.
That's interesting, so we can get to pair that at least.
Yes.
But I knew the
twist. And I had
twist.
seen this before.
I knew everything that was going to happen for the most part. I know how it ended. Let's just put it like this, right? Let's just put it like this. The movie is not made for us, and I've said this multiple times. I said this last week. I said it's time for us to watch another one of those movies where we are probably too fucking stupid to actually do this correctly. Now,
I would agree. Now that I've seen it,
it depends on how we want to approach it.
I'm gonna approach this as stupidly as possible, so don't worry about that.
yeah.
All right, we'll go that
pretty
direction.
Stupid myself.
As a movie itself is okay. It teeters on bad, if you want to be honest about it. If you take out the connect, this is gonna be fucking stupid. People are gonna get mad when I say this. If you take out the symbolism and the connections to the real world that this is not an entertaining movie. The plot is very nonsensical by the end of it, and it gets
nonsensical.
Yeah, it gets very fucking ridiculous, Tristan. Very ridiculous.
No, I would 100%
very
agree.
quickly, and the ending.
Yes, in a way.
Once we get to Project Happiness,
Mayhem.
Sure. Mayhem. Yeah.
I just remember the big smiley face, so I called it
Yeah.
Project Happiness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once you get to Project Mayhem, it really starts to fall apart.
I would agree.
Because it doesn't do anything to really establish the Project Mayhem shit. And it doesn't explain how he's all of a sudden this charismatic.
Yes.
And now you could say, well, he's being everything he ever wanted to be. Okay. Fucking, how many politicians, how many motherfuckers have tried to move a fucking mountain like this to where this dude's got the entire world in his palm? Literally the entire world. Like, everywhere he goes, people are like, yeah, Project Mayhem. And that's my issue with it. I think a lot of this movie's built up on the twist that is not a twist because everyone and their fucking mother knows. It's just one of those things that you will hear about if you're around media enough and you watch movie reviewers because it's such a big movie. It's like fucking hearing, spoiler alert, by the way, for Harry Potter. It's like, oh yeah, fucking the meme, like gay Snape kills straight Dumbledore kind of thing, or straight Snape kills gay Dumbledore, like that meme where you know that Dumbledore's dying, right? You don't even have to watch it. Or Darth Vader, you know Darth Vader's Luke's father. You don't need to watch fucking Star Wars to know that. You just hear that shit in the wild. And so I've heard in the wild, like, oh yeah, that's Tyler Durden is the main character the whole time. And I'm like, so I knew that from the get-go. So I was watching it under the scope of, I notice the shit that connects them together and how people are reacting to him being one person?
Yes, did
you? I noticed a lot.
Okay.
There's a lot of things. He says we a lot, and then other people will be like, we? And they won't press him about it. They'll just be like, who's we? Or like, we kind of thing, questionable. Marlena did what's her name?
I do, yeah.
Marla,
yeah.
She did that a lot. She did that a lot where she was like, we, or stuff like that. And there was little hints like how he was like, yeah, they're doing my parents' bit. They won't be in the same room together at the same time. And that's because it was him.
Yeah.
So they couldn't be in the same, Tyler and her couldn't be in the same room because they weren't connecting and talking to each other kind of thing.
Right. And then they wouldn't talk to nobody talked to the two of them at the same time ever.
No.
Yeah. I started questioning things when Tyler swung by Marla's apartment or whatever, and she's like, did I invite you? And I was like, you don't know him. I was like, that's weird. Like, I don't know. I thought it was really weird in that instance, but I was like, whatever. Like, okay.
She was also really high.
I understand. That's why I gave it a break. That
she
being
did
said,
invite him though, and she didn't invite either of them.
Yeah.
Whether it was Tyler or Jack or the narrator, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, the unnamed narrator.
They call him Jack, but let's be honest, he doesn't have a name.
Yeah. So I'm sure I've heard the twist at some point in my life. Did I listen and care at the time? No. So I went in to the movie not knowing the twist. I thought it was a movie about an underground fight ring, and I was confused for, the first 20, 30 minutes about how it's like a mental, like, I don't know.
Must have really fucked you up.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I was like, is this what we're doing? I was like, I wonder what they're going to go from here. So then they go to the actual fighting, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then they went to Project Mayhem. And I went, I was like, this is a little bit out of control for me. I don't know that I'm necessarily, like, invested in this at this point because it's just kind of too ridiculous for me. So I'm not going to lie. I tuned out a lot of it. I watched it. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't, like, doing something else. But I was, again, monkey clapping his fucking, not cheeks, but the tambourines in his hands most of the second half of this movie, which was very long, by the way. And it wasn't until I learned the twist that I was like, oh shit, it makes sense now. And it saved a lot for me, don't get me wrong, but I was already lost at that point and already to the point where I didn't care. So I don't know. I'm at a kind of hard point right now with this movie.
I see. Let me explain why I think that this movie is not as bad as Reek thinks it is in some ways. I think that they connect it, and it now it depends at the scope you look at it under. But when I look at it as at the beginning of the movie, it is about this guy who does not like where his life is at all. All right? And then this weird opportunity comes up, his apartment blows up, and then he moves in with this guy he met on an airplane.
Oh, I want before you do this, because I can kind of see where you're going. I understand the movie, and I get what it's going for. I just don't care.
That's fair. I didn't think you didn't understand it, but you also chose to take the simple review on this one, which is fine. I don't care.
Well, because
it doesn't bug me.
If this movie hasn't aged well. And that's the bad part about it, is that a lot of the social topics that it tackles are the same issues that are going on currently, except this Project Mayhem shit is actually happening. Yeah. Do you see the issue there? And it's like I don't want to get too into it because there's actual people going around bombing shit and killing kids and killing people with that Project Mayhem stuff. So it's hard for me to be like, great movie, great fucking thing, topics. It's because it's very real. It does a decent job of pointing issues, but I don't think it ever does a good job of how tackling them and like how we can like change it. It just says motherfuckers are sheep. People follow whoever they want, whether it's the big corporations and whatever they tell you to live, or it's fucking this Tyler Durden motherfucker. They'll follow whoever as long as you pretend to give them purpose. I get it, but it's just I've always said that because you get a movie doesn't mean you have to like a movie, and
that's true, and so I'm not mad about that.
And that's probably my biggest issue with it. But I'll let you rock.
And I think that the way they did it was plenty brilliant, because even at the beginning of the movie they showed, I mean, you could tell at the beginning of the movie they showed flashes that he was not sane.
Very
absolutely. He's going to seminars for people with some sort of disability or something going on in their life that he has nothing to do with. Like, you definitely have some sort of mental issue going on.
He's a sociopath.
Right, exactly.
No, he's not.
At the beginning, that was the inference, I should say.
No. So
it looked like he was going there to try to get some sort of feeling in his life.
Yes.
So, I mean, here's the thing. They also even showed, like, literal flashes of Tyler Durden at the beginning of the movie. I don't know if you guys caught that.
No.
But he, like, kind of flashed in and out of the picture.
Now, I was wondering that because once they mentioned that Tyler was he did the movie thing with the film and how, like you said, if you closely pay attention, you can see the little cracks or whatever. And so by the end, I was like,
yes.
I wondered if they, like, throughout the movie, they sprinkled them in. But to be honest, I wasn't watching it super focused. Like, if I was focused enough to where I was watching it frame by fucking frame, I was wondering if there was stuff like that in there to catch. And so you're saying there is.
Yeah.
There was two that I caught.
Yes.
There was one when he was looking at the poster board.
Yep.
that had the meetings, and he flashed behind him a little bit. And then there was one where he was at the nut support group, where he flashed as well.
Yes, I saw that. I honestly thought it was just a mistake in the movie until later, and then I went, oh, maybe that's why. But I did notice, I don't remember, I think it was the support meeting one, actually. I did notice that, and I was like, why did it just cut right there? I didn't really make a connection until
think
later.
Too much of it, huh?
Yeah, and then they were talking about movie flashes like that and making it very, like, fourth wall breaky, and I was like, well,
and I see what you're saying, but here's the other thing. Tyler Durden, the actual man Tyler Durden, has schizophrenia caused by his insomnia, which, you know, they end up explaining the insomnia part in the 9 jobs later and everything.
Talk about the narrator?
But, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't say Tyler because I just think of Brad Pitt, so.
That's why I specifically said the actual person...
narrator.
Okay, well, if you look it up on the internet, okay, they call him either Jack or the narrator, all right?
Or unnamed narrator, actually.
Yeah, so get it together.
Pleb.
All right, dude. Either way, he's got schizophrenia. He's got schizophrenia, and so this movie is just him breaking down, basically, and then finally coming back to reality, which, when it kind of comes full circle like that, I have a certain appreciation for it. But I understand why you might not enjoy this. I definitely agree with some of the whole, it didn't age well, and it doesn't feel right. It doesn't sit right completely, seeing how some of these things unfold in this movie, and then thinking about how things are going today.
Maybe it aged too well.
Yeah.
Maybe in that sense it aged too well to where it's uncomfortable now.
Yeah, maybe.
That's completely
especially because the rhetoric that they use in this is rhetoric currently being used by fucking groups of people trying to create mass hysteria and divides between people right now. And
True.
that's
That
where
is
it
very
gets
true.
uncomfortable. Is that the same you are sheep, don't be sheep kind of shit that the narrator went through is what groups are actively using now to hurt each other, and I don't like that. But that's more of it did age too well.
Yeah.
I agree.
I would agree with you, Tristan, as far as liking how it came full circle. I think that made up a lot for me in this movie, and that's why I will say that it's not a bad movie or anything. For me personally, it took too long to get there and was too ridiculous at the time to keep me invested enough to get there.
Okay. And I understand that in this case, honestly. I don't have counterpoints or like, well, you're stupid. No. I totally get it on this one.
Well, I am stupid, so how about that?
You got me on that one. You got me on that one.
I think, it's just, like I said, I don't want to get too into the messaging because the messaging's actually done well. I feel like just as entertainment value, if you step away from that, this movie does a pretty good job for the initial hour and a half. However,
yep, exactly,
that last 30 minutes felt like 2 fucking hours, and I did not enjoy myself the last 30 because boy oh boy, I got up to get a drink and shit. I'm like, man, how much more's left, bro? There was 30 minutes ago, 6 hours, 2 hours ago, and I checked
20
it had been
minutes.
Fucking 12 minutes.
Oh, God.
And I was like, there's no way possible it's only been 12 minutes. Mind you, the exact point where that happened, it had to be when the motherfuckers started coming to the house to get trained. That's when I was like, oh, there's 30 minutes left, and then it just dragged and dragged and dragged. And it was such a snail's pace. And I think that would have been more intense if I didn't know what was leading to, because I knew everything. I knew Project Mayhem. I knew Tyler. I knew he was gonna what he was gonna do to himself at the end. I knew the ending, all that shit. I knew all because I've just seen YouTube videos about this movie before, and I've never actually watched for myself. The only thing that kept me going and kept me severely entertained was this me trying to paint all right, that's a connection point for Tyler. That's where he's also Tyler. That's how you can tell. It got really fucking bad obvious, though, when they were like, sir. Because, even before they really started kicking in, everyone was calling him sir. And I was like, okay, he's, He's the guy. Like, that's him. I get it. You don't need to punch my fucking face in with it. Come on now. And if people didn't figure it out by then, you're fucking low-key stupid. And by
Dude,
low-key,
I mean, it was obvious. No, it was obvious for me when I personally found it is when he was searching him down and he kept asking people and they were like winking at him being like, yeah, sure, dude. And then right after that, you get the whole, oh, that's what he said you would say and all that. I was like, dude, I mean, that's just apparent to me at this point.
Yeah. You know, my favorite part of this movie actually was the ending. Because I was watching
credits? Or?
No, the very, like, the ending where, like, shit started to go kaboomy. I was watching this, right? And, you know, how did that bitch get there? Like, how did fucking Beatrix get there?
Yeah, Bellatrix.
Huh? Oh, the bus that he put her on, he had planned that too.
Okay. You dropped that movie by, like, half a point right there. Just what you fucking said to me, that just dropped it half a point. But I was just sitting there and, you know, shot himself in the mouth head. I'm not sure where it hit him at.
On the cheek.
Not sure how that killed Tyler, but okay. I guess it was a metaphor because his brain thought he killed Tyler. Sure.
Just a mental block, that's all.
Yeah, okay, let's go with that. But
getting shot put him back in more of a reality.
And they were just sitting there on this, you know, they're on high rise from Modern Warfare 2, looking out at the world. And then Marla's sitting there and he's sitting there. And I was like, whoa, dude, this is cool. And then the music hits and I go, oh my fucking God, the true villain's coming out. It's fucking Orange Cassidy. And he came out and he said, I planned this the whole time.
So
and he's like, I'm the actual sociopath. And then he fucking shot Tyler, shot fucking the narrator, killed fucking Bellatrix, fucking blew up the building, jumped out of it, orange punched George W. Bush, ran away, and then his music kept playing the whole time.
I was gonna say, I'm assuming "Where's My Mind" is his intro song. That's nice.
And I was like, this is it. This was the worthwhile moment where Orange Cassidy started running around punching people.
And there's your 20-second bit that I said was gonna be stupid.
Yep. So now I see. I know where you've heard the song before, Tristan. It was from this.
No, I'd heard that song for years.
I don't know where you heard that song from. Okay,
it's a pretty popular song.
The radio.
I didn't listen to that as a child. I listened
to
fucking
killed the radio star, you motherfucker.
I listened to Tupac as a kid. Okay, and 50 Cent. Gang unit.
I feel it. Hey, all I'm saying is unnamed narrator got hit like Tyler got hit, but he ain't fucking breathing.
Oh shit! Oh man, the movie was boring as fuck.
Dang, dude. Hey, I thought the acting was really good.
Acting was good.
Can we tell you the I feel like I talked about it with She-Hulk. Good acting cannot save boring.
No, that's fair. No, that's fair. But I can at least give props to these dudes, Brad Pitt and Edward Norton.
You're talking about two of the best actors of their generation.
Absolutely.
And then you got fucking HBC, who's also a beast. Like, they went God mode. Like, they were great. Of course she was.
And Meatloaf?
Bro, Meatloaf as Bob? That was awesome.
That was Meatloaf?
Yeah.
That was Meatloaf, dude.
Was he wearing a fat suit?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he was wearing boobs.
Was he really that fat?
He's a big dude.
He's a pretty chunky dude. Not that big.
Well, I thought Meatloaf looked like Fabio back in the day.
No, I don't think so.
No. He had a similar hairstyle.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. No, he was always a little bit chunkier.
His name is Meatloaf, bro. What do you expect? It's not fucking salad.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. He looked like David Harbour. Shout out David Harbour.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, I have something to tell you guys about after this.
Oh.
That's kind of weird, dude, to bring that up on air.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Why can't you tell
now you
the
gotta
audience?
just say it.
I mean, I can tell the audience.
No, we're gonna go ahead and
that's not the bit.
No. Sorry, audience.
Fight Club.
We're saving you.
Club Fight. Fight Club might be the most like lying title ever. Because I can't lie to you, Eli. For the longest time, I thought Fight Club was also about like underground fighting.
Yeah, that's dude. That's what I was going into. I was just like, okay, people love this movie. It's
gonna
about
be Never Back
fighting.
Down. Like,
Yeah.
they go, sweet, another Never Back Down. It was not Never Back Down. Oh man, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and so I have to be respectful.
Oh no.
Because I don't want to be a dickhead, and I'm gonna firmly put this at a 5. Now I know there's a lot of motherfuckers who are gonna get mad about a 5, but considering for how much I felt like this movie was not entertaining past the mystery, that's very generous. So I'll give it a 5, which is directly average.
I am shocked that you went that high.
Me too, actually.
Like I said, I can appreciate the messaging and what they were doing, and they executed it well. I just don't think it was that fun.
That's fair.
So I at least had the twists and turns, which Reek didn't, because I guess I just don't go on the internet ever.
I'm on the internet a lot, though, like bad.
That's fair. So at least I had something to look forward to that I didn't know about. So I'm gonna give it a 6.5 because I thought it was a good movie. It just didn't hit. I don't know. I went in with the expectation that it was going to be a fantastic movie based on what people say about this movie, and then the expectation that it was going to be about fighting, which it was not. So,
okay, I'm gonna go with a 7 because I think that they did a good job executing on a lot of things that they did. Although I understand why it's not the most exciting in a lot of ways, but I think they did a really good job with it, and I liked many parts of it. So that's why I'm going with this 7.
It's a lot lower than I thought you would put, actually.
Yeah, me too. Especially with the meat suck, that was kind of crazy to go that low.
I honestly, like, the way you've been talking about it, I definitely thought you were hitting a 9.
No. It's not a 9. It's above average for me, but it's not like that big.
I think the appreciation for this movie comes just from the fact that it does messaging really, really well. And like it keeps it mildly entertaining by having the mystery of like who is Tyler. And I think that would have helped more if I didn't know. But you can't really go back in time and erase when something becomes this popular and well known to the fact it gets to the point where spoilers are just common knowledge.
This is true.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us. We've been chilling. We've been vibing. Watch Fight Club. This was Eli's movie, so any and all controversy will be directed at him.
True.